was the scariest moment of your life? When I was only 11, there was like one guy who was mentally crazy. I remember when I was playing football soccer, that guy just came with a shotgun and started to chat like the shotgun wasn't even there. And eventually he started pointing the shotgun at us, especially me. And he was joking about it when I was going to shit on my pants. Thankfully, my dad came and he saw him with a shotgun. My dad pulled him aside and my dad started to scream at him. It was really my scariest shit I've been through, but luckily I had my dad with me. Ex-girlfriend with BPD started an argument over absolutely nothing on the highway. I mean, nothing. She just wanted to start a fight. She became belligerent, hit me repeatedly, and jerked the steering wheel into an oncoming semi-truck. We were inches from a head-on collision. My life flashed before my eyes, and I might have pissed myself. She frequently threatened suicide and made comments about murder you couldn't shake sounded like intent. I told you that story to tell you the really scary part. She is now a traveling nurse. I wouldn't be surprised if she murdered a patient at some point. As a child, I lived in a country town. In the morning, school was canceled due to snow on the roads. I went for a walk in the woods and fell into the snow. There was about 30-50 centimeters of snow over my head. But the snow was very dense and I could even move my hands. Since it was morning, all the adults left for work and no one could help me for at least 14 hours. As a result, after 10 minutes, 5 yard dogs ran up to me, which I constantly fed. They dug me up and I went home. When I was an early teenager, I was in foster care and kind of homeless, and I went to a rave with a foster brother of mine, but we didn't go back to our foster home. Ended up just sleeping in an abandoned house in the downtown area of our city, and I woke up and all of my shit was gone except for my longboard and my phone. They took my knives, my cash, a whole bunch of other stuff, and I woke up completely alone in an abandoned house. I almost killed a drunk driver once. I wasn't that scared for myself, but I was very scared for him because he put himself in a very dangerous position and just sat there. I was going down a highway. It was dark and pouring rain. He pulled out of a shopping center driveway in front of me. When he noticed me, he just stopped instead of moving quicker to continue out of my path. His driver door was directly in the path of my car. Never gonna forget the stupid, confused look on his face while he sat there watching a car slide right at him. If I'd have been messing with my radio or something and not seen him, he'd have gotten 2 tons of old Cadillac at 6th directly to the face, and I don't think his little plastic Civic door would have saved him. I grew up with bad asthma, including breathing treatments throughout the day. At 16, I smoked a joint with some friends which had a little metal wire inside to hold while smoking. I guess I had a bad reaction or allergy to the metal oxides, and within a few hours could barely breathe and had tons of congestion. I got rushed to the ER, and after breathing test was only using 6% of my lungs. And they admitted me, Roman 4 in each arm, and pulmonary massage every few hours, cupped hands, back slaps by therapists to break stuff up, and they'd analyze the spit. Super scary when breathing fails. I'm okay now here. Outgrew the asthma, thankfully. This might not be scary to someone else, but I almost died, so I figured it would be good enough. I don't remember what age I was, but I remember my parents took me and my brother down to Florida to visit my grandparents. I was really young, to the point where I was hauled around in a stroller. We went to this nice little park. I don't remember the name, and my mom left the stroller, me still intact, to go look at something across from the boardwalk. I was completely alone, nobody near my stroller. All I remember is an alligator or crocodile. Pretty sure it was an alligator running up from the water and about to snatch me. I don't remember what happened after, but all I know is that I definitely survived. I hope. Snow covered the road on a back mountain road I had to take to get home. One gas station marked the halfway point, and a side road with a stop sign stood next to it. Anyone at that stop sign can obviously see oncoming traffic. As I'm about to pass the gas station, I see another SUV come up to said stop sign. I let off the gas as I often do because I've seen people either run the stop sign or speed up to it so quickly. I proceed with caution in case they pull out at the last second. This SUV made no attempts at stopping. I knew hitting the brakes wouldn't help. I just blared the horn as they make the sharpest right turn to avoid me. I immediately call my other half sobbing. I thought I was going to get T-boned and be unable to drive to work with weather conditions as they were. The time I tried a backflip on skis in the trees at Mount. A bachelor in Oregon as a teen and landed on my back and instantly lost all feeling in my legs. About 15 minutes later the feeling came back and I continued to ski the rest of the day. That was 30 years ago now. I've run marathons, had wives, children, traveled the world. I was 15 and received a .22 rifle for Xmas. I went out, shot it a bit, and while walking back to the house, I noticed some suspended ice in a frozen puddle. I decided to break the ice with the butt of the rifle. On the third strike into the ice, the rifle went off, and the bullet whizzed by my right ear so close I felt the air shift as it flew by. Realizing I had almost shot myself in the head by screwing around, my heart started beating real fast, and I could feel my pulse and thumping heart beat in my head and ears from my fright. While with my wife who was delivering our firstborn, the doc stood up and pushed the rolling stool she had been sitting on so hard it hit the opposite wall of the delivery room. At the same time heard NICU stat over the PA system and realized they had said our room number. But terrifying. Everything turned out okay. I gotta thank modern medicine and amazing medical staff. When I was 10 years old, my NES system was in the basement. I had been playing Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout for the last 2 hours or so, and swore to myself that I had been hearing noises in the basement from a closed-off area that served as storage for our family. I remember terrifying him off as plumbing or just my imagination. When I stopped playing, I began walking up the stairs. I heard the door to the storage area shake or move slightly and kept going upstairs. I told my dad that I heard something in the basement, and he shrugged it off. Shortly thereafter, as I was comfortably watching TV with my parents, the door to the basement opened and a man stood in the doorway. He was extremely old and in a polo shirt and slacks, asking about his wife. Apparently, he had gone down there at some point in the day and fell asleep or whatever. We honestly don't know how he got down there without us realizing, except that we always left our doors unlocked and lived in an upscale, suburban area. My parents called the police, who ascertained that he had full-blown Alzheimer's and dementia and was seriously mentally ill. But to this day, it makes me scared to go into my basement. I always worry someone is lurking where I cannot see. Me and my friends were going through this one lost part of the city. No one lived there anymore, and it was just old buildings from the communist times, 1970-1985. As we were walking, we decided to go back because it was getting creepy when we saw a man chasing us with a chainsaw. We ran for our lives. There was 4 of us, and one of us could not run because he was tired, so we had to hold on to each other while running, still terrified of the day. That's all for today. Write your scary life stories in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel for promotion. Thanks for watching.